Hey, what's going on, guys? Almost fell off my stool there for a second. Today we're checking out the Frame Arms Girl hand scale version of the Architect here. So the Architect being kind of like the base model of the Frame Arms line, and the Architect Frame Arms Girl also similarly going to be very kind of small, simple in terms of the design, but one that's kind of made to be customized sort of, or although you don't necessarily have to. It's a cool design as it is, but one that's certainly very well suited for customization, as you can see here on the back side of the box. Now, unfortunately, my box did get a little bit crunched up here. This one was actually sent to me from Kotobukiya directly, so thank you, Kotobukiya, for this. They sent me a couple of these hand scale Frame Arms Girl kits a little while back. I'm just kind of now getting around to reviewing them, so I've got a couple more that we're going to be taking a look at in the near future, but for now, let's go ahead and check out the Architect. And so my box is a little squished here, but we'll take a quick look around the box before we check out the contents inside. On the front, it's in the typical kind of normal Frame Arms Girl styling, but we also have a photograph of the kit there, which I believe is 1:1 scale with the actual kit, so it kind of lets you know that this is going to be ultimately a 75mm tall kit, so not a very big kit at all, of course, but love the box art here on the front. And on the side of the box here, we have some additional photographs of the built kit and the included parts. So it looks like we are going to have those MSG option parts there for that, so that's nice. Gives us some extra option weapons that we're going to have here, those big fist weapons. I forget what those are actually called in the MSG line, but that's pretty cool to have those. And then we've got two different face option parts. That's nice. And some decals for some additional face option parts if you want to make those using the included water slide decals. On the back here, you can see some further ideas for customization by mixing this with some different MSG option parts or hexagear option parts, stuff like that. So that's all good and well. The MSRP down here for this set's going to be coming in at 2,600 yen. Let's go ahead and check out our contents inside. So we've got our instruction manual and all of our runners, which we'll take a look at here in just a moment. The instruction manual is going to have the same box art there on the front, minus the photograph of the kit. And on the back side, here's our color and decal guide right there. On the inside, we do have our included sheet of water slide decals there just for some eyes if you want to make your own face option parts. And we've also got the color guide here for the option weapons. And here we should also have our parts list, and the rest of everything in here is just going to be the basic construction of the kit. If you guys have never built any of these hand scale kits before, I mean, they go together fairly simply, but it's really amazing what Kotobukiya is able to do with just the detail and articulation of these, just in how small they are in terms of their scale. And here's a quick look at our face option parts. So we've got our two pre-printed face option parts there, and then you've got two face option parts here that are unprinted that you can paint yourself and use those water slide decals on if you want. For the rest of our runners here, we've got this one runner in softer black plastic here for our hand option parts there. Runner D is also going to be all in black here for some of the mechanical aspects, some parts there for the skirt as well. Runner C is going to be here in a kind of medium gray color there. Runner A is going to be our skin tone colored parts for the kit, basically the torso and neck, and then the tops of the arms and tops of the thighs. And lastly, runner B in an off-white kind of light gray color here is our parts for the hair. And that's it. Let's go ahead and get her all built up and check her out. All right, and here is the kit all put together, small as it is, just to give you guys an idea of exactly how small. Again, this is coming out to slightly over 7 centimeters in height, or just under 3 inches. So yeah, not a very large kit by any means, but that you already knew. Let's focus a bit more in on what you actually get with this, and that is a really detailed kit despite this size. So I mean, as you can see here, you do have a lot of detail. You've got hard points on here that you can use for attaching more parts onto there if you want for customization. You will have a couple of seam lines like here on the back of the leg there. The thigh parts are single pieces, so no seam lines there. You have a little bit of like mold line there on the front of the forearms, on the front of the leg, but for the most part, not too much in the way of seams on this one. You have a hard point here on the back of the head as well, and these hair parts are able to move a little bit there side to side. The head is just on a single ball joint here, and it's kind of difficult to get that to move without popping this midsection apart just because my fingers don't fit in there. But you have a ball joint there between the top and bottom half of the body as well for rotation and bending there. The arms are on a ball joint, and you also have a joint here at the top to be able to raise those up and down. You have a single joint there in the elbow, which does give you a pretty full bend there from straight out to a little bit more than 90 degrees. We also have a point of rotation there where the black and skin tone parts meet just above the elbow joint there, like that. The hands in this case are just going to be plugged in via a straight peg, so you're only going to have rotation there for those, but as you can see, they're so incredibly tiny that there's not really going to be much room for them to do anything. The hip joint or the connection does move up and down slightly to kind of help you get further movement upwards. If I try dropping that down a little bit, you can kind of see how this side's now lower. I can get the leg a bit farther up to about 90 degrees perpendicular to the body there. A double joint in the knee is going to give you a nice full bend there with separation of this knee armor. And then down here at the feet are connected via a small ball joint there as well. So you'll have a little bit of movement and rotation, but not a whole lot there. As for our accessories here on the back, it's kind of hard to see, but that part up there at the center of the back has a small hard point on it, but if you wanted a larger hard point, you can use this piece there instead. That will allow you to plug an action base, a 3mm action base connection right into the back. They're using that piece. Alternatively, you've got two of these adapter pieces where the hard points here around on the kit are smaller than 3mm, but by plugging this into here, you're basically turning that into a 3mm peg, which then you could plug stuff onto there if you want. So you've got two of those adapter bits. We've also got two of these little handles. Now this is also just a 3mm peg at the top to be able to plug into other different weapons parts to give them a handle, which is a size that this kit can actually hold in the hand. So basically a teeny tiny little handle that you can plug into other sets. And then we've got an optional part here for the shoulder armor, one that will give you a peg there on the side to be able to plug parts onto there if you want, there like so. For our two face option parts here, you've got just the kind of straight face and then this action face. The printing quality on these is good. It's really, really small, so you can't really expect like too much, but the eyes and the little bit of painting there for the mouth, the open mouth, does look nice. And a reminder that if you wanted to try painting those yourself or using the included waterslide decals, you do have blank versions of the faces as well. Next up, for our hand option parts, you've got a set of closed fists that I've got there on the kit. You've also got two types of open hands, open resting hands, and then open expressive hands. And lastly, a set of weapon holding hands here for both the left and the right side. And that's it for those. Lastly, then we've got our included weapons, or these are just going to be tiny versions of the impact knuckle available in the MSG line. So we've got two of those, and the fists are going to be not symmetrical, but asymmetrical, one for the left, one for the right side. And then just using this adapter piece here, that is just going to allow this to fit right onto the arm, something like that. And then you can use this in hand. Now the fist at the end, you can rotate that for different posing options. Kind of a shame that it's all in black, but still a cool weapon or weapons to be included, to have some large weapons. Although again, maybe large is not exactly the correct word for this because these are also still quite small, but just large in comparison to the actual kit, right? So those are pretty awesome for sure. And just to give you guys a quick size comparison here with the full-scale version of the Architect. Now this is obviously the Nipiko version of the Architect, but you guys can get an idea of just how small the hand scale is in comparison with the regular size version. Now aside from all that awesome detail there, as you saw, it does have some pretty nice articulation. So despite the size, you are actually able to do some nice poses here with these. They're just really, really tiny. And so, you know, if you are planning on doing anything with them, customizing them or painting them, I mean, it's definitely going to take a little bit of work depending on how you wanted to paint them. I mean, you might have an easier time just hand painting them, but if you did want to do like a super clean, like airbrushed finish on them, you'll have to do like painting some really tiny parts. And if you have to mask anything, oh, I don't know, it's just going to be a lot of work, but all that nice detail on there, I would say definitely going in and just panel lining these and just a little bit of top coat or something on them could definitely look very cool. With this design not really being the most colorful, just mostly being in black, gray, and skin tone, I mean, pretty much all the colors are there, except there are little bits that are missing. So painting in a couple of the little missing color apps here and there, just to add a little bit more detail to it. And I think you could have a really nice kit, even just straight out of the box here. Someone asked during a live stream build of this, how I would go about painting the skin tone colors. And honestly, if it was me painting this, I probably wouldn't even paint the skin tone parts. I would maybe just use some clear flesh tone color paints just to maybe shade some of the areas and just spray that basically right on top of that flesh tone plastic and just use it like that. It's usually a good way to go about about that without having to paint those parts entirely for the skin tone color parts. But definitely would be a cool looking kit, all painted up in some different colors. So I may go ahead and try that at some point. But for now, let me know what you guys think about this kit and this series of kits down in the comment section below. Are you guys a fan of the hand scale, or is it just too small for you? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. I like it, but yeah, it is kind of a little bit too small. Just it's very difficult to work with, especially if you have larger hands. If you want to do anything in the way of like customizing them, you just have very limited options. But I guess if you did like working with like something in like 1/20 scale, which I think is probably the closest thing in scale to these, actually maybe more like 1/24 scale, I guess would probably be the closest comparison. There's a lot of cool stuff that you could get in 1/24 scale that would go well with this. So depending on the type of scaling that you like to work in, you know, this may be for you or it may not. That said, it's lucky that we just have the regular kits and now the grande scale as well. For different options for you if you didn't want to work with something quite this small, but it's nice to have options. So check out all the Frame Arms Girl kits that are available at USA Gundam Store. The link is down in the video description below. Got lots of great stuff on there. Frame Arms Girl and everything else from Kotobukiya on the website, so check that out. And as always, guys, thanks so much for all of your support. Leaving a like, making sure that you're subscribed. Really appreciate it. So until next time, hope y'all are having a great day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.